Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'd like to get this one out a little bit sooner, but life has got in the way unfortunately. But we are taking a look at round 8 of the FIA manufacturers season. It's Gr4 cars at Tsukuba circuit in Japan. Fuel at times 3, tyre wear at times 12. We've got 25 laps and we have the choice of the racing soft, medium and hard. And the tyre requirement is that we must run the racing hard tyre for this one. Now in the update it would appear that it has brought the end of hybrid tyres. If you go in to try and do some qualifying and try and mix the tyres, it doesn't let you. So whatever you choose on the front, it will default to the same tyre on the rear selection. If you don't know what hybrid tyres were, it's when you were running different combinations and tyres either on the front or the back of the car. This could provide a small advantage to some cars at times and allows you to sort of fulfill the tyre requirement without actually running the tyres in the proper fashion. So it would appear with the last update that brought 7 new cars and Laguna Seca that they have made changes to the FIA championships to stop you from running the tyres in that fashion. I personally think it's quite a good thing. Certainly for me making these videos, it kind of reduces the strategy options. And as I said, I think it could provide an advantage to some cars over others. Which I guess is not fair. Anyway, it is the end of the hybrid tyres, and so when you run the hard tyres in this race, you'll have to run the hard tyres at a full set. Okay, so let's take a look at some strategy. We're in the Gr4 Supra here. I thought I would take the opportunity to do some driving in this car and see how it handles. Even though nobody's around this as a manufacturer, so it really is just about the strategy here, not quite the car that we are running. So we have the fuel meter on the screen there. It's a 25 lap race. You can see we've already completed a lap, and that's at 30 laps remaining, so no fuel concerns whatsoever for this one. I don't believe the Supra is a particularly good car on fuel anyway, so I'm fairly certain that every car in the class will have no fuel concerns running this one. Okay, the first strategy we're looking at here is we are going for a 2-stopper. It looks like this one boils down to a 2-stop or a 1-stop, but we will initially look at the 2-stopper. So we are starting on the racing soft tyres, and the plan is to get to about laps 9 or 10, change to soft tyres again, and then we've got another 9 or 10 laps on them, and then finish the race on the hard tyre. Obviously the hard tyre is going to be slower than the soft tyre, so we want to minimise the amount of running that we do on it. I don't think I'm going to do... I can't really see any reason why you would use the medium tyre unless you're absolutely horrendous saving tyres, which may well be the case for some people and some cars. The tyre we're being at times 12 is quite heavy, so you can see the soft tyres degrade pretty quickly. They're only good for about 4 or 5 good solid laps before you start to suffer a big drop off in lap time. And I have noticed that the Supra seems to be particularly heavy on its tyres compared to the Citroen when I've been doing some testing within the Citroen. So we jump forward here to lap 9. You can see just how worn those tyres are now. That front left has taken a bit of a doing. For this second stint I actually adjusted the brake balance a little bit to the rear just to try and even out that driver, but into the pits we come, and we're going to choose another set of soft tyres. Now one thing to note here about the pit stops is that what you're seeing here is not reflective of our race pit stop. We're having to do this testing within a lobby because the tyre wear's at times 12. Sometimes I do my testing within a custom race which only lets you take the tyre wear to times 10. But I have checked out how long a pit stop takes within the race, and it's 3.8 seconds longer than what we are doing here. So when we come to working out the race finishing times, we will adjust things accordingly. So we're back out on a new set of soft tyres. And we're just going to jump forward here to the second pit stop. I've done a slightly better job of looking after the tyres in this one, but I'm finding that I could only get about 9 laps on the soft tyres from the Supra. So onto the hard tyres we go. I had done a brief test before I did this run, so I knew what sort of lap time I could do on the hard tyres. And if you look at those 2 last laps on the soft tyres, a 58.1 and a 58.6. I know I can go faster than that on the hard tyres, so it was the right time to pit. So we're on the hard tyres now. The mandatory tyre for this race, we must run the hard tyre at some point. No lap limitations though. I think you could just do the 1 lap if you really want to. I can't see that really being the best strategy though, because you'll then be trying to do 12 lap stints on soft tyres or medium tyres, and I think the degradation would be too hard. Running the hard tyre at the end of the race doesn't seem too bad at all. Obviously the fuel much lighter. We've burned off about 60% of the fuel when we changed to the hard tyres. So the car's a good 60 kilograms lighter at that point. And if you look at the lap times on the hard tyres, they're 57.8, 57.7, and then doing some low 58s, which is equivalent to what we were doing on the soft tyres in the second stint there on sort of laps 13 to 15. So the degradation very high when on the soft tyre. So the hard tyre, the gap between them closes quite rapidly. Even by the time you get to about laps 6 or 7, the hard tyre can sort of start matching the soft tyre. So very difficult to pick out the best strategy for this one. But we are on the last lap here of this 2-stop run. You see the lap time on the hard tyre quite consistent there. We've only a variation of about 4 tenths between every lap that we've done. So I don't think it's a bad thing to finish the race on the hard tyre. You just know that it'll be nice and consistent, and I think even someone, if they were doing a 2-stop run where they started on the hard tyres and then did 2 stints on the soft tyres, I don't think they'll be lapping any quicker than you at this point as they start to suffer that tyre degradation. So across the line we come to finish that race run there, lap 25 completed. And when we sort of do our adjustments regarding the pit stops and etc., the finishing time for that one was 24 minutes 30 seconds .1. So that is the time to beat for this 1-stop run that we're doing here now. We're starting this 1-stop run on the hard tyres. Probably more a strategy if you're going to maybe do it if you're towards the rear of the grid. You can start on the slower tyre and then sort of rely on the cars in front of you fighting and trying moves and holding each other up to keep pace with them, even if they were on the soft tyre or the medium tyre at that point. Obviously a lot harder to do if you are running in the first few cars. You tend to find with the races that the first few cars just manage to sort of drive off unhindered at the sort of pace that they can do, whereas further down the pack you go, there's a bit more squabbling and fighting, and so drivers are getting held up a lot more there. So you could probably hang in there with a hard tyre over the opening laps, and then as that tyres, the soft tyres start to fade, you could actually start keeping up with them quite comfortably and maybe even start going quicker than them. So lap 12 there, we have reached the 59s, and that was my limit. I told myself when I did this run that once I reached couldn't stay in the 58s any longer, we would move into the pits and we would take on a new set of tyres. I wasn't sure whether to go for the soft tyres or the medium tyres. I had done my previous run on soft tyres and I was struggling to get 9 laps, so getting 12 laps out of them was always going to be a bit of a push, a bit of an ask, but we have burned off half the fuel, so I decided I would go for the soft tyres and just really try to manage them and get them to the end. So again, when we look at this pit stop, remember that the pit time, I think it comes in at 15.9 seconds, what we're looking at here, and it actually comes in at 19.7 or 19.6, I did check, for an actual proper race pit stop. So 3.8 seconds longer for a race pit stop. As I said, we will take all that into account when we look at the finishing times. So we've done a reasonable job looking after the soft tyres here for this 12 lap stint. But this, you can just see on the screen there, a very, very tardy lap. The tyres are pretty worn now as we come on to lap 24. Really having to nurse the car around. But 1 lap to go, so we have made it. Into the last corner here. This one's an absolute killer. This is the one doing all the damage to your front left. So you can see a 59.5. Probably lost at least a second there. We made a mistake into the reasonably quick. I think we made a mistake actually into this hairpin here, and then we actually made another mistake in the corner after it. So with some good tyre management, not pushing too hard on the opening laps, trying to reduce the braking inputs as much as you can. Easier said than done, admittedly. You can sort of stretch the soft tyres out to 12 laps, even in a car like the Supra, which seems to be quite heavy on its tyres. However, you wouldn't want to be trying to do this and battling with someone where you tend to get a little bit, the adrenaline starts to flow and you end up trying to start driving the car a little bit harder. So if you're going to try and do a one-stopper or try and stretch a soft stint out to those, remember you're racing yourself more than anything at that point. So there we go, we come across the line to finish the one-stop run. So let's take a look at those finishing times. It should just be about to pop up on the screen. There we go. So the first run we did was 2-stop, soft tyres to soft tyres to hard tyres, and the finishing time for that was 24.30.1. And the one stop going from the hard tyres to the soft tyres, finishing time came in at 24.31.6. So very close between the two strategies. But one thing to add is that the one stop would have track position after the 2-stop completes its second stop. So a 2-stopper is probably going to have to fight its way through a few cars, whereas the one-stopper is probably going to have to contend with having to let a few cars past at some point. So there is the potential for both of them to lose time to other cars. However, very close between the two of them, and I think it's going to, a lot will come down to where you qualify and what car you're in. If you have a car that's terrible on tyres, maybe like the Lamborghini seems to really struggle, then I think you're kind of going to have to go for the 2-stopper. If you're on a car that's kind on its tyres, maybe like the Toyota 86 or the 4C, then I would be sort of leaning towards the one-stop. But an interesting race in store, always is when you've got these tyre requirements and a selection of tyres that you can use. I'd like to have sort of explored a few more options. I'd like to have done a bit of testing on the medium tyre just to see how it came in. But as I said, I was a bit pushed for time. A few things been going on this week, so this video been released a little bit later than I'd like to. Obviously we've got a day before the actual event. However, hopefully there's been some useful stuff in here, if only to see the Gr4 Supra in action. As I said, hopefully some useful stuff in here. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye now.